And we're live. Welcome everybody to this month's Gain LinkedIn Live. I'm super happy to be back. It's been a while. I haven't been on a live, and I have Adam next to me. So welcome, Adam.
Thanks for having me on. There's a lot to talk about in hotels, and the lives really should be happening once a week because there is tons happening and various, let's say, geopolitical or macroeconomic events that we could all pick out because um, everyone wants to travel, everyone wants to experience great hotels, but things tend to get in the way on a week by week basis.
They do. They do. We tend to get busy, but we should never be too busy for a LinkedIn Live. So I'm happy that we
Yeah.
made it today. And yeah, we've had a great conversation pre the live, but we need to move on to hotels now because this is what our audience wants to hear about, specifically the luxury hotel space and all the different things that you do with that, Adam, because I know you're super busy. So we're going to try and keep it within the 20 minutes range and within the topics that we promised the audience. Okay. We'll try.
Yeah.
Um, I know that you're very heavily involved in luxury hospitality, and as you said, things are just moving so fast, whether it's technology, geopolitical, crazy. But one thing that we have sort of spoke about is the fact that hotel brands are starting to look remarkably similar. What is going on with hotel brands, and what can we do to fix this?
In a word, similar is safety. And um, there's a phrase in investing for fund managers, which is that no one gets fired for buying the S&P or buying an index, right? Because it's safe. So when you look at luxury brands these days, the reason why they're converging is fundamentally it's emotional safety as well as economic safety. Because if you look at what it takes to get a deal done, to actually get a hotel built, which is going to involve convincing a ton of people over a very long period of time to put various tranches of capital together to make that happen, you have to convince every single one of those people repeated times to make that happen. So of
Mm,
course they're going to be looking at a comp set analysis. What are your comps? Where is this coming from? What brand do you have to ensure that we can get distribution and that base across all those segments? All those things to verify that the product will work. And then from there, it has to be homogenized and standardized for people that want that safety, first off, the guests across different segments, but also the people that are penciling it on paper and doing the underwriting to make that happen. They want to see the brand, which has its standards. They want to see that, you've done the work on the area planning and that you have, certain amounts of public spaces here. You have different room types. You have the design, which all converges on great, incredible design, but still more or less looking the same and having the same elements. You've done your homework to appeal by all the standards that are out there by various organizations. That way, every luxury hotel room has that one chair in the side that no one really uses for anything aside from just storing an additional piece of furniture or hanging a sports coat after they get back. And then the F&B tends to all follow these macro trends around what concepts are being deployed and how they're laid out and all that stuff. That all said, there are brands that are doing very innovative things, but often that too gets lost in a lot of the noise insofar as this grand standardization that's happening across the board.
yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I guess when we're talking about this sea of sameness idea, you think, oh no, things should stand out, they should be innovative, they should be different. But as you're saying all that, I'm like, well, what's wrong with that? Is that a bad thing?
I mean, as a society, we remember the winners in any industry sector or market. We remember the Apple as being the great computer slash phone company, predominantly a phone company, actually. but we forget all the other PC slash desktop computer manufacturers in the 80s and 90s that are all bankrupt or have been bought out by now.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with hotels. There have been a lot of innovative concepts over the years that some have survived because hospitality really rewards that, but others have not. They've gone belly up and then have been converted into other things or been reconstructed into other things, let's say.
Mm.
So, because hospitality is a very mature industry and it doesn't really appeal to riskier forms of capital, like namely venture capital, that really is designed to take those big swings and hit a few home runs and not really worry about the singles and doubles. Hotels are more about the singles and the doubles and the triples, and less so about swinging for the fences. So there are innovative concepts, but they tend to come from people that have the capital for it to be fully funded, instead of relying on limited partners, private equity, or any sort of financing that wants that surety and that backstop to ensure that they can be protected against any downside to de-risk.
Fair, fair. I mean, I think you could kind of say that about many types of businesses, that the bigger the business gets, the more red tape there is, the more
Yeah.
safety they have to, go for, in terms of, it could be building new hotels, it could be building a new product. Do
Yeah.
you think that in the long term, then that company is going to miss out on longevity and on being the winner company in the end if they don't invest in innovation along the way?
Yeah, I mean they'll miss out and then they'll be a laggard on all trends. But then look at the other side. They could invest and be so innovative, but that could disrupt their base
Mm.
in terms of their current business on the books and their rate structure, their operations, key leaders leaving because it's too much work or going somewhere else. So there is a risk to being innovative.
Yeah, fair. And I think that so you're really on the cutting edge of this. So perhaps if a hotel brand is being sea of sameness, not really innovating, perhaps the innovative edge can be their offerings. For example, I know you're really involved in the wellness industry.
Yeah.
So is that where hotels can be a bit more innovative and be a bit more avant-garde and perhaps increase revenues?
Right. So wellness is and longevity, another buzz term, are the safest of the riskiest ventures that you could do. And the thesis on that is that we now have enough comparables to develop that model and really pro forma to make sure it makes business sense to execute any plan around new activities, a new spa, carving out more space, in-room upgrades, etc. So we have enough on that, but it all relies on the core principle that health is the new wealth. And there's one of the longevity pundits slash influencers once proposed this, and I don't know who it is. I'm having a brain fart on it, but he said, would you rather be yourself with your own health or Warren Buffett right now with all his wealth, but he's 95 years old? And when you look at it, Warren Buffett is one of the richest people in the world. He could do anything with his billions, but he's 95. So, which is more valuable to the human being, health or wealth? And what you find is that you could have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health, it's meaningless.
100%. I would definitely agree with you on that. And yeah, and also time is something that no amount of money can buy. So
Exactly. Yeah, which is part of the whole gambit of this health is the new wealth, which is as you invest in your own health and your own longevity, you're in essence imbuing an internal time machine into your body
Mhm.
because you're elongating the potential health span of your life, i.e., how long you live, but also how many good years you have. At the same time, on a micro level, if you really invest in your health, you actually need less sleep overall. So you gain minutes every day.
Interesting. Interesting. And I wonder if people are realizing this. There's so much more awareness about health, longevity, only live once. But I'm also wondering if the experience economy is tied to that, because I know that I'm well aware, yeah, we're all getting older every year, and I want to have experiences today. So I'm gonna pay for that today. I'm not gonna wait for my retirement in order to go somewhere that I want to go. I'm gonna go next year.
Yeah, I mean, that ties into another trend is the age of 20th century materialism and consumerism as identity is fading to give way to the experience economy and now I guess, the transformation economy, which is one level above that. That's Joe Pine wrote both those books, and I highly suggest everyone read them. They are seminal to our industry now. But the whole idea there, going back to this whole idea of health is the new wealth, is you have to ask your question: are you trying to live longer or thrive longer? And the whole difference and nuance between living and thriving is that thriving is saying, well, I know that alcohol is technically a poison for me, and that 0 ounces or 0 grams of it is better for my body. And yet there's something still magical about sitting in a piazza in Italy with a great bowl of pasta and a wine that's locally grown in the area and is paired with my wine perfectly. And the experience of that creates externally, because you're doing it socially with friends, hopefully, as well as internally in terms of the sensation of taste, sight, sound, etc. So that to me is thriving, is you have your health for a longer period of time and you're able to enjoy more and create more of those joyous moments, versus just living, which is to say, yeah, all of us could never go out anymore, never drink alcohol anymore, wake up, work out for 2 hours a day, do yoga for 3 hours a day, be an aesthetic, as the Greeks would say, and forego certain things, only wear cotton clothing or wool, and reduce the temperature in your house to 17 degrees. That way you're in a constant thermogenic deficit and all that fun stuff. But that's living, that's not thriving. So there has to be a balance, and each person finds that balance. And part of where hotels exist is helping people find their own individual balance.
Mm. I love that. And I'm so glad you just gave me permission to sit in a piazza with a bottle of wine and some friends. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so going back to hotels, what are some of the longevity services, experiences that are gaining popularity right now?
Okay, so across the chain scale, let's look at it this way. There's now an entire class of longevity resorts and hotels that have emerged at the ultra luxury end, where they're offering medical or medical adjacent services. So direct medical procedures, Medi Spa, which is the aesthetic end, as well as the preventative diagnostics and wellness technology experiences built around that. And most of these are now packaged around multi-night experiences. So 3 nights, 4 nights, 7 nights, 10 nights, 14, 28, etc. And then there's a lot of personalized itineraries that are created around that. However much there's mechanical Turks behind the scenes to string all those various systems of records together and make that happen at scale. Generally speaking, it's not happening at scale. There's intake, there's consultations, and then from there it's all mapped out and personalized nutrition. That's the ultra luxury end. 5-star resorts and other places with spas are now adapting their spas to have an even greater wellness footprint. So it isn't just about the massage, facial, day salon services, but it's about the thermal is big. It's about the touchless technologies, like the red light therapy, the pulse electromagnetic frequencies, vibroacoustics, things that can be added to the traditional treatment rooms or added in a recovery zone and then augmented. Moving down to the upper upscale, the next level below these luxury spas, is we're seeing a lot around these same recovery technologies, but added in a more approachable way, and in more of a zoned and different pricing structures. So less so about these day-long retreats that are 4 hours to 8 hours, half-day, full-day experiences, and more so about a la carte selections. And we're seeing that at a lot of, JW Resorts here in North America has done a great job of building that out and expanding their wellness footprint that way. The other element to all this is going to be F&B, as I mentioned, the personalized nutrition that these five-star resorts are doing, where they start off by doing a diagnostic and then they personalize everything, but that can be replicated by having healthier menus and healthier menu options at various restaurants, or even reconceptualizing a lot of secondary restaurants to be super health focused. And whichever direction that health focus is going, you can model that around. I mean, vegan, plant-based, all organic, local farms, on-site farms, herb garden on the roof, partnering with a heritage farm to get localized ingredients. All that stuff can be modeled into something that is very approachable, and gives guests that are looking for something healthy or a healthy menu some clear options. And then the third main area, aside from spa, F&B, the third one is the guest room. So adding a lot more of these touch points in the guest room. You can have fitness equipment in the guest room. You can have these smart beds, smart mattresses that can control the microenvironment or record your sleep. You can have the recovery equipment in the room, like a Theragun, something of that nature. You could have a wider tea selection. Mushroom coffees is something that's very approachable for 15 cents a unit. Those sorts of things in the room, along with the basics about sleep. So air quality, perfectly dark, soundless or soundproofed, etc. And the final area is expanding the gym. And most hotel gyms right now are horrible. They are horrible. The equipment is rusted. There's no natural light. All they have is the base equipment, not enough room to do any proper movement with the human body, or do any things with dumbbells, free weights, or even bands or anything like that. So we're seeing an improvement at the upper upscale, luxury, and upscale around getting the body to move in 3 dimensions, which is how we're designed. Still a ton of room to improve, because, as a former fitness guy, I can tell you that most people, probably around 99.5% of people on the planet, are not exercising properly. So there's a huge room to improve for hotels to be places to inspire and educate. So in summary, we have the spas slash wellness centers, we have the F&B, we have the rooms, we have the fitness center. On top of that, you can add in lots of other activities as a fifth pillar, where activities don't necessarily need to be fitness focused. They can be F&B related, cooking classes as wellness and longevity. Hikes are cycling, but also arts and crafts. Anything arts and crafts is now, there's very convincing evidence to show that works to help prevent dementia, because of how it activates the mind in different ways. So yeah, those 5.
I love that. I would add one more. I would add language learning. So
I mean, that's technically an activity, right? And yeah, that definitely helps prevent dementia in some very powerful ways, as well as being a part of a culturally immersive element.
Yeah. Well, I think travel in general, I mean, going back to your example about immersing yourself in the local culture, just going away to a new place is already transformative. So going away and having all these different longevity and wellness options, I think is fantastic. Okay, so we're wrapping up. What would you say to a hotel brand thinking about implementing any of this type of technology in the next sort of 5 years? What would be your biggest takeaway?
Biggest takeaway: try harder.
Just
Like,
do it.
no, but I mean, the whole thing with the sea of sameness, I see
Yeah.
all these brands approaching longevity. And it's like, oh, we're going to have red light therapy, and we're going to have a cold plunge, and we're going to have a sauna. And it's like, ooh, yeah, that was exciting 5 years ago. 5 years from now, by the time this thing is fully built and stabilized, that will be outdated and boring. Try harder.
Okay, let's go. This
Yeah.
is a positive influence on the world. I love it. Very
Yeah,
good.
hopefully.
Yeah, thank you so much. Each time you come on a live, I learn something. Each time we have a conversation, I learn something. So thank you very much. And yeah, if anyone wants to know more about all these wonderful things that Adam's involved in, please reach out on LinkedIn, and see you very soon.
Yeah, see you soon.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.